So I tell myself that I'll be strong and dreaming when they're gone, 'cause they're calling, calling, calling me home, calling, calling, calling home. You show the lights that saw me turn to stone. You shine me when I'm alone.
Hello, this is Caleb Christian from Bremen, Ohio, and you are in the field with the Trackstarz.
Yo, I'm gonna enjoy this conversation. I already know. This is a good question. My wife came up with this question yesterday. We were talking about the whole Mark Cuban thing, and we came to the conclusion that hip hop as a culture, there's some internal things that we need to work on. And if you heard earlier, I had a little beef with Stephen A. Smith for turning the whole Mark Cuban thing into an opportunity to criticize young black kids. I don't disagree with what he said. I just don't think that's the right time to talk about it. But let's talk about it now. There's an issue. There is an issue with our culture, with the music we listen to and some of the things that we promote.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how hip hop largely is negative. Like, you turn on the radio right now, somebody's leaning on a mute button, or you got a radio edit or whatever. If you turn on a rock station or some other pop station, they may have some negative themes in it, but it's not as blatantly get them girls, get the money, drug money coming type stuff. Why is it that our music is so obviously negative when other cultures aren't so obviously negative? What can we do to fix that? So while we were talking about it, we came to the point where we were like, if you could remove 3 hip-hop artists from history to try and clean it up, who would you remove? You see what I'm saying? Who would you remove that would? It's not like it would clean it up completely, obviously. Because my point to her was, I don't think anybody is really positive in hip hop. I think if so and so, if you took him out, somebody else would have took his place and said the same stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
So, but if we could go back in history and take out 3 key rap artists to try and help steer it to be a little more neutral. I'm not saying it's going to be a Christian industry now, but at least songs that aren't negative from the jump. Who would you take out?
My 3? I already know my 3.
Can I before we hop into the actual 3, can I at least clarify what we're trying to remove from the culture? Is it violence? Is it this whole like self-idolatry? What is it?
It's pride.
It's pride?
It's gang activities.
Okay.
The love of money over God. Sex and lust.
All right.
And everything that comes with that, adultery. I mean, Chris Brown's song with Wayne and whoever is basically about adultery.
Just throw Wayne
Girls
in there. Just when you
we're gonna get to Wayne. We're gonna talk to
Wayne.
So the song, "These Girls Ain't Loyal." Yeah. Basically, he's bragging about being able to take a married girl's whatever.
Yeah. Right.
So, like that's the default theme in most of the music that we have.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Future and oh boy from Good Music.
Pusha T.
Okay.
The song is basically,
drug trafficking.
Young and get that dough.
Yeah, drug trafficking.
That's the default music that we play on the radio.
I mean, it's real because the actual struggle that's happening in the hood is a little bit different than the struggle that's happening in the white community.
It could be.
So they're not singing about getting money. Most of their parents have money. Some life insurance plan actually came, when somebody died. So there's money going throughout their family. Or it's not everybody's story, but I mean, a lot of them actually are okay. They don't have to go out and struggle and make the money for themselves. Like, that's not their story. So they're not telling their story in their music.
Possibly.
Who's dominating the music? If we sung rock, it'd be different type of rock. Guaranteed.
Possibly. But it's still not okay. So what are we going to do about it?
I'm not saying it's okay.
Because when you grow up and you listen, there's people from the suburbs that are doing this. They don't need to do it.
That's real.
But it's the culture that they see on TV, so they emulate it. You got
down to our 3.
You got a Jay-Z that basically gave you the blueprint of how to make this work. You sell drugs, you make enough money to fund your little recording group. Same thing with the whole Jeezy and the what's that group called? Big Meat. Anyway,
we're in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind. Y'all are good.
Wait. We just talked about having courage as artists to say what we need to say. Okay?
I don't remember.
You hope you don't collaborate with some of these people?
No.
That's why you compromise?
Some of them may record here.
Say some names. Say some names.
People may be affiliated still with them cats.
There's some CDs out in the corner out there that I don't know.
They ain't been picked up yet.
What I'm saying is,
I'm ready to say some names out here. Okay?
Me too, man. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your list?
Who gonna go first? Me? Okay. All right, my first list would be NWA.
So you got to pick a person.
See,
man.
I said NWA
He
is my
did too.
first one.
I would say then Eazy-E.
Eazy-E.
Because Eazy-E started.
Eazy-E?
Well, follow me, brother.
All right.
All right, this is the 80s.
My list.
The 80s. I know. This is the 80s. So in the 80s, gangsta rap, they are considered the godfather of gangsta rap, NWA. Yeah.
I mean,
before
Yeah, I believe
NWA came out, Eazy-E came out with Boys in the Hood first.
Okay.
So before NWA, it was behind the scenes. They was working on NWA album,
Right.
but it was Eazy-E that was on the front line. So if he's considered a godfather of gangsta rap, you got to think about what gangsta rap has kind of done to the culture.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, even in that clique, when I watched them on stage this week, I mean, I was just doing some research. But when I watched them on stage, I think Ice Cube.
Yeah,
Ice Cube.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to
He
say
was
because Ice
straight up,
Cube.
he was the
Ice
leader
Cube
on- yeah.
He wrote Boys in the Hood for Eazy-E.
Okay, so
So-
I'm taking him out.
So you're taking Ice Cube out,
And
but
now,
I'm
he,
taking.
now he the family man.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm taking. I would say Eazy-E.
I mean, I would take him out then, not
I would
now.
say Eazy-E. If you're gonna say not, we're gonna say groups. I would say Eazy-E because of
So you take out the microphone and not the person talking?
Being a godfather of.
he wants to say NWA, so he's trying to pick somebody.
All right.
So but you know what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna move forward to the 90s.
Okay.
So in the 90s, I would say
Time travel.
I would probably say Jigga. And I would say Jigga because when Hard Knock Life hit, it kind of brought everybody together. Before then, rap was kind of separated, but when Hard Knock Life hit, Hard Knock Life was like so crazy that it bleed into the suburbs. And when it hit in the
They
suburbs,
did Hard Knock Life tour and they brought everybody on that.
bro.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
like
man. I can't like I think
This is my listing, Tim. So that's my explanation for Jigga. And then 2000, y'all gonna hate me, say this. I'm gonna say Eminem. I think Eminem
Yeah,
has sprung.
I talked about it. But here's the thing. I don't know if
Wait, why you ain't saying the same thing to him? Okay.
He's expounding on me.
Oh, okay.
You was trying to go left field.
Okay.
No, but I want to vibe
wanna
with you
go
on
in
that.
that field.
I don't know if Eminem had that negative of an impact on black youth.
But white America.
But he
He had a negative impact on me.
If you, I'm not saying that as a blanket statement. Of course,
Yeah.
I loved Eminem growing up and everything, but there were so many kids in the not urban, but the suburban area that they consumed Eminem.
Yeah.
And his attitude of, forget the world.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do whatever I want to
Yeah.
do.
Treat your
I'm
wife
gonna
like
say the nastiest things possible.
Yeah.
He is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. But his attitude and the reason why he was so loved was because he had such a disrespectful attitude. And he had a largely negative impact during the 2000s.
Yeah.
Largely negative. And people may hate that. But, this is coming from a fan of his style. He had a terrible impact on kids.
Yeah, he did.
Terrible impact.
So that's my three.
All right.
Eazy-E, Jay-Z, and
And this is hard to do because these are people that we think are good.
Yeah.
These are people that we think
Yeah.
are great.
I mean, Eazy-E
But-
wasn't the greatest, but
No,
for that time,
you're right. I take
for
that
that
back.
time, he
I don't even know- I don't even know
My
during
only
that time.
problem with your list is I think I mean I understand this is your list. No, whatever, don't turn up on me. But basically, as we go through the times, I think you're hitting the secondary artists of those times. Even
Jay-Z?
No, not even Jay-Z, because he told me about he said the 90s. So if we're talking 90s, I think Pac was still alive in the 90s. So if Pac is still alive in the 90s, even though you're saying, I think he's one of the big people who brought this whole gang, everything that was big in the 90s.
He's number one on my list.
Okay, and if we go back further than that, even before this whole gang thing with NWA, if I attribute most of the gang stuff to Tupac, which he did all across the nation, Louisiana had no gang until Tupac, whatever. So
Wayne.
no, until stop with the Wayne, yo. So anyway, before that, I'm thinking 2 Live Crew.
I thought about Two Live Crew,
yeah.
but that was more for sex, though.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, sex is wrong, right?
One of the people I was going to put on my list.
Outside of marriage.
Luke, when I was in Miami, Luke had a terrible impact.
Yeah,
At least
yeah,
where
yeah.
I was from.
Yeah.
The whole 69 Boys era, that was a terrible. He brought porn into rap.
Yeah, that's true.
And it just had a terrible impact on my city. I know that for a fact.
But wasn't it kind of like, wasn't he like after the whole 2 Live Crew thing? So didn't he just kind of?
No, he's part of Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
Which is
rap
essence
history.
because remember he went on trial for what was that obscenity, So really, if he would have lost, we would have been like people saying what crazy stuff would have been really banned. So him winning, like that's no pun intended. With him winning, it's like that changed the game for music. Like so people could say whatever. So let
do your list.
All right, go get.
I actually, since Sincere just brought up 2 Live Crew, I just let him go with his list, and then I'll come back.
Okay.
Oh wait, am I saying my list right now?
Well, you just
Because I'm
kind
just
of
critiquing his list.
no, you blurted out what
We
2 Live Crew.
critiquing your list.
All right, whatever. Yeah. So, all right, I would first go 2 Live Crew.
Yeah.
My second one would be Pac. Right. I mean, you got to understand that. Like I said, even in my little town, it's a really small little town. But once people started dividing east and west, then it became east part of my little town versus west part of my little town. I'm not playing,
That's
yo.
true. That's true.
Like people just start throwing up west side, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know exactly what side of this town I'm on, but I need to
Yeah.
get affiliated because if I don't, it's gonna be a problem. At every single party, it was like that, and this went up until I went to college. So this extended beyond even the time when Tupac was still alive, and all that kind of gang stuff is still being perpetrated by somebody who you guys are mentioning in your list. I won't go there.
Yeah.
My actual other person that may come as a shock, because I'm a huge fan ever since like he even came out and of his style. But basically, one of the people that I would like target in this point right now during this time is Drake. And the reason is because Drake brought a different style of sin, and it was more so this pride element, and it was already out, and I didn't think he really
Every girl
bought
in the
it.
world.
I mean, I'm not.
still
That's
your
kind of
boy.
sex.
That's still
Huh?
your
But
Say it again.
That's still your boy.
Can
Well,
I
listen.
say something? Can I say
listen.
something?
What?
To that?
What?
If it wasn't no Kanye, it wouldn't be no Drake. It wouldn't be no Big
Nah,
Sean.
it would,
it
nah,
wouldn't
nah.
be
There
no
would be
Wale.
there would be a Drake
It wouldn't
without a
be no J.
Kanye.
Cole.
There would be a Drake without a
You
Kanye.
know what? And think about it. Heartbreaking 808s is, if you really listen to that album, that's Drake influence all day.
So you saying Drake is like, okay, maybe I made the classic mistake you made. Okay, but I only made it for my last person, but not my other two. But he might
I understand what you're
he
saying,
might have
though.
been influenced,
Yeah.
but he is the main voice right now. And when I think about when I get in my prideful spells,
I ain't gonna lie to
It's
you.
'cause of Drake.
Worst
It's
because
behavior,
of Drake.
If I'm upset, worst behavior is on the playlist to listen to.
when you upset, is it worst
Yeah,
behavior?
worst behavior is horrible. I don't know why.
That's good to know.
Lauren Amati, thank you. But
But no,
But-
that
but
whole
all-
prideful era was. I mean,
But I
think
see what you're saying,
That's the
'cause
type
it's
of sin
sneaky,
that's
sneaky pride.
It's the sneaky type of sin that gets into you, and you don't even know it's being perpetrated in your music and in your way of life. Not in FMG's music, by the way, which is hot. But I'm just saying.
that's proud right there.
Did I say it was hot?
It has-
I mean,
it has
it's humble.
impacted you.
Can I be a humble piece? All right, go ahead.
I said originally Tupac
Okay.
because he brought the flash of, the danger of being a gangster rapper and being able to get past that. And I think Tupac is I think 50 is a reflection of Tupac. So
Yeah.
I would say take Tupac out the game.
Then there's no 50?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think the braggadocious lifestyle of being shot multiple times
The I'm
and
a
being able to
gangster.
talk about it,
Yeah.
would be gone if it weren't for Pop.
Okay. Okay.
The second person is Wayne, of course.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and the reason I say Wayne is because I feel like I said, we talked about the fads that he's
Okay.
created.
What are one of these fads that's so like bad that he created?
I think it's the dreads. I think
Wait,
that's a fad.
dreads
that-
is not a sin.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
it's not.
It's not, but
It's
I think
But
what
we're
he's saying is
saying
you see
idolatry.
distinct. Yeah,
he's an
Everyone-
idol.
yeah,
He's an idol. To
So
a lot
Bob
of kids.
Marley is not attributed
Nah.
with the dreads.
No.
What? So
Not in the
many people
2000s.
still,
Nobody was
some
idolizing.
people still idolize Bob Marley.
Well,
And
that's
when
right.
they smoking weed.
That's like
when they smoking
Elvis,
weed,
though. That's like Elvis.
Can I say weed on the show?
Yeah,
I just want to know the rules.
that's like Elvis. I mean, people still
said
saying
worse
that
than
people still saying that Elvis is still alive. They still see him. They go to the Graceland.
What I'm saying is
mansion
there was
for
No,
him.
man.
there was a rash of dreads in the mid 2000s that was because of Wayne.
That's most okay. Those are attributed to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people when they were smoking weed, it was all Bob Marley, and Bob Marley
Yeah.
rocked dreads all the time. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that's attributed.
Of course,
their dreads to him.
There's some other things too.
Yeah.
But
But I don't think that's a
But you
problem.
know
what's
what
your-
else?
what's your last one?
You know what else? And I won't necessarily say this is an artist, but I think athletics. Athletics.
Yeah, but
We can't remove
who's your
athletics.
Who's your third?
Okay, the third person is. And y'all help me
We
with
can't
this.
count that one.
Y'all help me with this.
Athletics. I'm like, what?
Y'all help me with this because
I think basketball is
this
called
is
assist.
this is different from the angle we've been approaching, like the sin angle and all this kind of stuff. This is just disrespect to hip hop. Like, I want to take out that first artist that made way for bubblegum lyrics and crap music.
So who was that?
The Fat Boys?
No,
Whoa, stop it.
No,
Listen, you won't
no.
talk bad about the Fat Boys in my presence.
Well, okay, let me ask you this
Fat
question: What would
Soulja Boy?
What would have prevented Soulja Boy from being here?
Okay.
Take away Fruity Loops and
No. I'm talking
Yeah,
about what artist was it that we gave a pass to where
Franchise Boys?
franchise boys? Maybe so. So I'll say it was somebody in Atlanta then.
Well, anyway. All right,
don't
so
know.
Okay, Lil Jon, the East Side Boys.
Nah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Nah.
lie to you. Crunk music. Some people say crunk music,
Crunk
in
music-
the club. You automatically
Crunk
start fighting.
music brought up
Aggressive.
violence,
Yeah.
like Headbusters.
are you saying Crump or Crunk?
Crunk?
Okay.
Crunk
Yeah.
music. Headbusters.
Also, you going after the father of crunk music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. My list was very hard because when we first started talking about this yesterday, I can't really single out anybody because I think everybody has the same agenda in hip hop. I can't call out one positive rapper unless you start going into the whole Islam route,
Yeah,
which they
conscious.
try to be conscious, but it's still negative. It's
So you
still,
saying Lupe's not? Because I think Lupe is pretty.
but it's not it's still leaning
It's
on
still-
the mute button.
it's still kind of duality.
tainted.
Yeah.
It's still tainted with
It's tainted,
you're
but
basically
it's not
saying-
like it's not promoting
I like
violence.
Lupe though. I think
It's not
he's
promoting
dope.
violence.
No, it's not. It's he. There's a few people like a Mos Def or Asim or whatever his name is now. He pointed people in a different direction, but it's still not positive. But again, we're not going there. So for me, the route I went was I have to go for the most popular people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, without the popularity of the artist, then it wouldn't have kept going. And this is hard to do because it's almost like I'm saying that rap itself is evil. It's not. But the reason it's so popular right now is because of evil themes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could have broken it down and made it pure. Would it be as popular
Say
as
your
it is
list,
now?
my brother.
So I got my eye on the thing. What's going on? No, but seriously, the reason I'm saying this is because I don't know what my list is. Because I can list every single artist in hip hop on the list. So if I just go popular, I would say Tupac because I think Tupac, even though there were gangster artists before him, like NWA and all that kind of stuff, I think he made it popular. People worship Tupac. Because and here's my real problem with Tupac. Tupac created the duality of man problem where you can have such a positive song that people are like, oh, he's so sweet, he's
Brenda's
so nice.
got a baby.
But then be disgusting on another song, completely terrible on another song. So they accept him as a whole, even though he's largely negative.
Yeah.
You throw in, half of your catalog is positive, and everybody thinks it's okay. That duality of putting a good song at the end of my album makes it okay. I think that is still present in T.I. I think that's still present in a lot of artists where they feel like, I'm okay, I'm a Christian, I'm this, I'm that, but I'm gonna be real about everything else that I feel, and to me that's super, super dangerous.
That's the difference in Kanye. That's the problem with Kanye because I know Kanye, when I first got into certain like Christian groups, there was a large amount of influence based on by Kanye, and they didn't really understand like his confusion in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hi Kanye. But I'm saying like when this happens, it's a lot. Like it's crazy, and you're right.
So my wife said if you put in Tupac, because a lot of people are fans of Tupac, I won't say who, but she said if I put in Tupac, I gotta put in Biggie, and I can't disagree with that. Biggie has some terrible lyrics.
Oh, he did.
Your boy Biggie, which I'm surprised you didn't put on your list, has some terrible lyrics. I'd rather go to hell. I don't want to be in heaven with the goody goodies. I'd rather go to hell and do this, and that. That's terrible imagery. Terrible imagery from this dude. I just don't think he had enough content to really be put in that category. But they worship Biggie just like they worship Tupac for at least a couple years.
Okay.
So
Still today. I mean,
Still
his
today,
birthday-
but I mean-
his birthday passed a couple
Yeah,
weeks
you
ago.
tweeted about that.
Yeah.
So
Went line for line.
So what I'm saying is that to me they are largely responsible for the popularity of hip hop today. So I'm just throwing the blame towards whoever did the best. It's not really fair because you switch Jay-Z with Fabulous, he would have done the same thing. You switch.
I don't know.
I don't
about
know.
that.
Yeah, Fabulous.
You saying that Fabulous would have been more responsible with his lyrics than Jay-Z was?
He wasn't gonna last as long.
What I'm saying is That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if Fabulous was as popular as Jay-Z, he would have had the same responsibility. He would have shown the same characteristics. I'm not saying he's as good as Jay-Z. I'm saying that if you switch their styles and switch them as complete people, and Fabulous was the one everybody loved, and Jay-Z was just a Fabulous wouldn't have handled it any better. So I can't blame Tupac when
I think it'd have been a little bit
Lil
different.
Boosie would have been Tupac if he had a chance. You see what I'm saying?
I don't think that.
Lil Boosie still has a chance to be Tupac.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, you're responding to my statement by saying he's not good enough to be that. That's not what.
I know what you're saying. You're saying sin is sin, and
he wouldn't have.
It would have been on this.
I wouldn't have heard from give me somebody else that's not as popular. Give me another artist. Dang, somebody older, because I don't want
Somebody older?
late 90s, 2000s that was out, but they didn't pop as hot as these other guys.
Black Rob.
Whatever. You put a
That's Troy.
You put a P.D. Pablo in position of a Jay-Z or whatever. Ignore talent. I'm just saying, if you put him in the same position, you think that he would have been more responsible with his lyrics than Jay-Z was?
I'm thinking, actually, if we go back to your other one, you talk about Fabulous, I think he would have been slightly more responsible, or he would have steered to a different type of sin. Because Fabulous was a little bit more, like Jay-Z, it was a little bit more prideful, and I think Fabulous was a whole lot more about women and getting women and stuff like that.
I don't
So I
know.
think he would have steered a little bit different. He was prideful, but it was a whole lot of love music with him. It was a little bit more love music than with Jay-Z, so I think he was steered.
His album stuff was the same.
Really?
It's the same stuff. So what I'm saying is, I'm picking out these people, but I can't really blame them because everybody would have done it. So that Eminem I did think about, but then I got to bring in Wayne. I think from the 2000s to now, Wayne he's been driving the bus. He's been driving the bus on what people talk about.
Mid-2000, he started.
Mid-2000s, whatever. So what I'm saying is, he's been driving. Everybody that's out right now is a product of what Wayne did in mid-2000s.
We got to think about what did Wayne do that's doing this?
Wayne's lyrics.
Was he just the best?
He transitioned
He was just
from
like-
Hot
he was
Boys
just-
to
Remember what I said? It's because he's the best. I'm not
I
saying he's
understand
worse
that,
than
but he was
somebody
the
else.
best. So like, what I'm asking is, okay, what sin did he promote
What's he hasn't promoted?
Are you defending? I don't.
I mean,
understand.
we're talking about going all the way back to
I'm
Bling
not
Bling.
defending that. I'm just wanting, dude, in Bling Bling it was a whole lot different. And actually, Bling Bling was a whole lot. It was just
What I'm saying is, I'm not blaming
Actually,
Lil
Jermaine
Wayne.
Dupri started
Lil
Bling
Wayne
Bling.
is a product.
didn't.
Listen.
Wayne started Bling Bling.
Lil Wayne is a product of the same people I'm talking about. So I'm not blaming him. He was a product of it too. What I'm
But
saying is,
we single him out though. All he did do a different trend. I think the trend was to get artists together in collaborations and be on songs together.
that's fine.
That
I'm
was
just
a
saying,
Wayne thing. What's the problem?
Who's the most responsible right now for the culture that we have? I gotta put him as one of the candidates because he got the spotlight and he followed suit with everybody.
Now,
I would say.
I think Drake's the bus driver right now.
Now you also gotta
I think he is.
gotta throw Master P in there somewhere.
Why?
Why?
Why are you defending New Orleans so
I'm
much?
not defending New Orleans.
are.
I'm just saying
You
Master
are.
P don't have influence like that.
He
He
did.
did have influence.
You said maybe 10 times. And after you said so many times, that was a rap. What other song did he
Here's
get with
the
you
thing.
like that?
Who?
Ice Cream Man.
If you would have replaced,
Same song.
Listen, the reason I say that is if you would have replaced a Tupac with a Lecrae, or a Jay-Z with a T.I., or not a T.I., a Triple E, or would they have been more responsible with the attention?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If you could have replaced those people in key moments with somebody who accepted the challenge of being a godly person with the same audience, would the industry be different? Would kids have a better chance
Yes.
of coming out better? That's all
I
I'm saying.
think that goes without saying though. So yeah, of course.
That's why we're saying it. People got the opportunity to become famous, and they chose to chase money and fame, and they were irresponsible with their lyrics. They said whatever necessary to sell the most records.
You can say that about gospel artists.
Possibly. what I'm
Now
saying
hold
is,
on, we got to think about the actual goal from the beginning, because their goal from the beginning was always
To make money.
Was always to make money. Was always to get famous. It was always to get girls. That's always the goal.
Right, but
now
that's-
Trackstarz is a little bit different. You start off with a different goal, and possibly you get influenced by the money and all the stuff that's out there, and then you start turning that way.
so what I'm saying is if those three artists were taken out of the game and they were replaced with somebody like a Lecrae, somebody like a Triple E or Andy or whatever, could that have had a more positive impact on kids that are listening to the music now? Would that have been better off for the game? Because I'm not trying to steer, but I'm not trying to say that we could have steered the whole game Christian. But at least we could have made it neutral, where when you turn on a rap song, it's not cussing and sex and stuff right at your face. It could at least been neutral where you're not talking about negative
It took
stuff.
us too long to get in the game. It took us too long to get in the game.
You talking about Christians?
Christian artists.
Christian artists too long to get in the game.
It took us too long to get in the game.
I just think the quality wasn't there.
Well, here's the thing. The same Christian artists that are in the game now were probably fans of the artists that we're talking
Of
about.
course they were, because they were the only ones to listen to.
Right. So
I would say something else, but y'all would disagree with me. And
I
take
do
it to a whole-
disagree.
Say it.
Take it to a whole nother
Say
level.
it, because you were a fan.
Say it.
You were a big fan of everybody back then. You were a fan of Tunnel Rats. You were a fan of
are these?
Cross
It
Movement
was early 2000s with Tunnel Rats. I mean, they was out before then, but anyway.
and Grits and all of them, and they were cool, but they didn't compete with these dudes. Okay,
Talk to me.
Say
What you
it.
think?
You're in the field with the Trackstarz, right?
Yeah, there was one guy, right? What was this guy's name? He was like Spanish or something.
T-Bone?
T-Bone. I like T-Bone.
and again, remember, I'm not talking talent. I'm talking production. I'm talking impact. They did not compete with these dudes.
Okay. This is Jeremiah's opinion, the DJ of the group.
All right.
In my opinion, Life of a Hoodlum album by T-Bone that came out in the mid 90s, in my personal opinion, could have competed with Snoop.
It could have, but
Snoop
it didn't.
Dogg style.
I'm not saying
Well,
that these people weren't good enough. I'm just saying they didn't compete. I didn't turn on the radio and hear T-Bone.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They didn't
Okay,
compete
I
with
see
these
what you-
people,
I see what
whereas
you mean.
Lecrae is starting to compete.
I see what you
like
mean.
we're starting to
I
see
see what you
him
mean,
on
yeah.
TV.
I see what
So
you
what
mean.
I'm saying is
Okay.
that wasn't an option for a normal kid.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
I get
That's what
you.
I mean.
I got you. Okay.
All right, anyway, so hopefully give us your list. Who are your 3 artists that you think? And this is hard because these people you may, what we're revealing is you may love these people.
I thought about
You may idolize these
old girl
people.
that comments at the bottom of the section came to mind. Her name, I guess it's Kristen Stenford. She just go in.
Oh yeah, I love.
So she gonna be
I love
like,
her comments.
y'all wrong. None of these people influence me. So
No, I love it though. So give us your list, your 3 artists that if you took them out and replaced them with somebody else positive, could it have helped the industry? Who are your 3 artists most responsible for bringing negative in? And I might say Busy B. Busy B. Before
Busy Bone?
Busy B.
no, that's
I don't know
old
that
school.
person.
Before rap got competitive, it wasn't as nasty as it is now.
Well, you gotta say Kumo D then.
But
So that's who-
he didn't start the fight. It was when Busy B came on and challenged him that it was like, oh!
Well, he didn't challenge nobody. He was like, the story is that Busy B was like, well, nobody can touch me, blah, 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 blah. And then Kumo B was secretly writing some lyrics, and then he got on stage and just watched them in front of everybody.
Right. So
Yeah,
what I'm
but I
saying
see
is
what
that
you
battle,
mean.
when it got competitive, is when I think all this gangster, prideful, I'm better than you
Yeah, that's
stuff
true.
came into the industry.
That's
so
the
I
first battle in hip hop was Busy B versus Kumo D.
and it wasn't the first battle,
Not
but it was
first
the
battle,
first
but
popular battle.
yeah.
Wait. So y'all saying when it got lyrically competitive, that's when all
I
of
think
a
that
sudden
spirit of pride,
Silence got
and yes, the spirit of pride and I'm better than you. My crew is better than your crew. My crew gonna kill your crew. My crew get more girls than your crew. Like it just kept getting more and more competitive. I promise you. That has
Thanks, New Orleans.
That largely has a
These people from New York.
Yeah, that got nothing to do with
I'm talking about the Hot Boys and all that.
What's wrong? What
All right, anyway, we're just gonna take forever. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.